from Detroit, Michigan, USA, in my house, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
So you are the emulator DJ.
Yes, emulator artist.
It's emulator artiste.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about that. Now, the machine we saw there, describe it, because we couldn't bring it here.
Right.
So I need you to describe what they just saw.
Well, the emulator is a 42-inch touchscreen. Uses an infrared technology. All of the technology is actually in the frame itself. I've got a USB hookup. I plug it into my computer. There's a program that I use called the emulator also. That sits on top of the DJ program that I use, and I use Tractor. And basically, it's another MIDI controller. A MIDI controller is just another way to control the music. So you can use other types of hardware to control the music, and I happen to use a touchscreen to control the music.
So with the emulator machine, though, I've seen it live, and you write on it, you can draw on it, and how does that work? Because it's stuff going on in the back and stuff going on in the front. How you do
that's
that?
all part of the emulator program. So the folks that designed it are they're from near Toronto, some small little town, Mississauga or something.
Okay.
And the guys that designed it are both DJs.
Okay.
They're all in the corporate and festival type DJ and stuff. And one guy was like a tinkerer he can write all kinds of programs, and the other guy's like a business guy. They put it together. They created this emulator. I saw it online one time on YouTube, and I was like, I have to have that. And I actually was watching it online, looking for videos for over a year before they made it available.
Okay.
So I was one of the first people to buy one. So.
And I was going to ask you, when you show up to set it up, what's the response? Like, we've seen it around here, but like just kind of like explain the first time you set it up. Kind of how do people react when they saw it?
Well, I think a lot of people don't believe that I'm actually controlling the music with it and that it's a touch screen. And once they realize that it's a touch screen, they're like, oh my God, is that a touch screen? And then they try to touch it.
Because I noticed on that slide you were doing this with your finger.
Right. That's just all part of the emulator program that this guy designed. So there's the templates that I use are actually created by me. So they give us access to the program to be able to design what we want. So where all those buttons are, I design that. The colors, the design, what they do, I have to program it. Recently I added the remix decks to my template. That's 128 buttons to program out of a 16 grid.
Okay.
And then like 4 pages or something like that. It's like 128 buttons or something. So all that you design because you know how to use the software. You know? And then part of that software is that they have a wall, what they call a wall, where you can write on it.
Right.
And then they have a picture area where you can pull pictures up. You can manipulate them around. That's how you saw that one that said, I love house. That one graphic, that was actually one that I had preloaded ready for the event.
Okay.
So I can preload them with whatever I want, depending on what's going on.
Okay. So do you ever use your turntables anymore?
Actually, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Touchscreen is nice, but you still want some knobs or some kind of hardware. So I use also a control. It's called Tractor Control S4.
Okay.
And the reason why I like that MIDI controller is because it's plug and play. It's written specifically for Tractor, so I didn't really have to program that. Okay. So I'm actually using 2 MIDI controllers. I'm using the Tractor S4 and I'm using a touchscreen.
Wow. Baddryah, when you have your girls together, so what goes into picking the right tempos? And now, what is your vocal range exactly?
My vocal range is I'm a soprano.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's why you be screaming at the top of your lungs. Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's singing, it's vocalizing, it's emotion.
Okay.
It's passion. That's what it is.
All right. Well, give me some of that passion and what it is.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We do things from Malik's repertoire. All original music. We may mix in a few standards, a few classics, every so often. And, we like to really push the envelope with the with the original sound. So that's what we enjoy.
Okay.
So, when we do our vocal arrangements, or, when Malik is, arranging for various pieces, from keys to vocals to drums to, doing programming and arranging, it covers the spectrum.
First I called it Hands and Ears Project. So my mission is to taking pictures of the hands and the ears of the artist, because these are the important tools creating something, music. I mean, also the heart and the brain, but I can't take a picture of that. So, yeah. And I mean, you see so much history in it.
Yeah.
Like the wrinkles or something like that. Yeah. And also the close-up one. You see the soul, you see everything in their eyes. So I don't need full body shots. I can't use them to express what I want to express.
Hair Wars is full of hair, but it's also loaded with music, techno, hip-hop, house, rock and roll, and hot funk and soul. This goes out to the foreign DJs and music producers and all the In My House supporters who will be in Detroit before the music festival. This Detroit experience may blow your hairy mind. Yes! Welcome to Hump the Grinder's Hair Wars, Sunday, May 17th. Hair stars and hot cars, featuring some of the greatest hair entertainers in the world, showcasing over 200 models wearing whippity-doo hooked-up hairdos while getting down to the surround sounds in Motown. Yeah, we get a little crazy at Hair Wars. The car capital and the hair capital coming together from 2 to 5 p.m. People will be outside taking pictures with the hot cars. Doors open at 5 p.m. to watch the big screen show, and Hair Wars goes live at 6:05. Come on! 2020 Detroit Hair Wars. Hair stars and hot cars, Sunday, May 17th at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center on Michigan Avenue in Dearborn, Michigan. Cash bar, hot food, and free parking. Enjoy the hair, the models, the cars, and the music. It's entertainment, baby. Tickets on sale now at hairwarsustour.com. A Hump the Grinder production.
What is this? A text message from the Wayne County Treasurer's Office about my payment plan?
That's right. Our Project Text Message program allows you to enroll in our free text messaging service. All you have to do is provide your cell phone number. I'm here today with one of our customer service representatives, Karim Howe. She will explain how it works.
Our customer service team will send friendly reminders and text alert updates about your current payment plan. Everyone gets busy. We want to help you stay on track with your tax payments to avoid foreclosure. Call 313-224-5990 to enroll in our voluntary program. You will receive reminders on tax payment due dates and other important valuable information.
Join Project Text Message today by calling 313-224-5990 or email our office at textinfo@waynecounty.com. Stay in touch. Stay connected.
We are back with sitting next to me is, I like to say, this lady named Tracie, but Tracie has quite a few names, all nice and pleasant, of course. And we just listened to one of your tracks, That Hot. Sorry, I said that's hot. You know, it's a habit of grammatical English, but when we name and title things, we spell it with Z's and things and everything else. So what's up, Trey?
Not much. How you doing, Tina?
I'm good. So let's talk about, first let's get into the names, because we're going to talk about the label, but let's talk about the name. So we got Lady Named Tracie, DJ Dream, Tony T. Did I leave out any?
No, other than some other childhood names that I probably won't mention to other people. But
okay.
Those are the top three.
So let's talk about the name. So why is it that artists such as yourself have so many pseudos?
Well, let me take it back just a hot second. Where we first want everybody to know that Tony Tracie is my official government name. Okay.
Say that in the camera. No.
Tony Tracie is my official government name.
Okay.
So, I didn't include the middle name, which is Tracie. Oh. So a lot of people don't realize.
Oh, like T. Carlita. Carlita's my middle name. Oh, see? I dig that.
So, basically, you know, as I said, that's my government name. And so, originally, almost nearly 20 years ago, myself and actually, it was funny, I was getting my hair done one day. My hairstylist, Tamla Duncan, she'd probably have a fit if I didn't mention her name.
Please do.
Tamla Duncan, best hairstylist in the state of Michigan. You need to go see her. Anyway.
Free plug, shameless.
We were basically kind of trying to figure out pseudonym names for my DJing, you know, because this was new to me. You know, I didn't want to be basically without a name. You know, I came up with all types of stuff. Eventually, we rounded it down to a couple of names. One was Popcorn, the other one was some funny name. Then we went with Dream, and then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I like Dream, and everybody's like, that's catchy. I like Dream. I like Dream. So I stuck with DJ Dream. Okay. And that's how that basically came about, and the history goes on from there. Mm-hmm. I had said that once I began music production and getting into the underground world, recording, that I wanted a different pseudonym other than DJ Dream, but so to speak, kind of reintroducing myself to a new world. You know, I felt like with the lesbian gay community that I spent most of my DJ career in, they pretty much knew who DJ Dream was, you know. But there was an underground world out there who didn't really know who I was as an artist. Mm-hmm. I wanted them to know Lady Named Tracie because it's kind of like an alter ego type of thing. If you want to, if I can say it that way. Dream is one person. Lady Named Tracie is somebody else. She does a whole nother job.
So, is Lady Named Tracie the more loose, wild, no holds bar? I should not say the loose first. That was terrible. You know what I mean? And then the other one is like, I'm going to put on my corporate, professional, or do they kind of like morph together sometimes?
Well, I have to say that, you know, Lady Named Tracie is, as you can say, she's more of a free-spirited person.
That's the word I was looking for. Loose.
She's allowed to be more free because she's creating. Okay. She's free to create whatever comes in her mind and whatever she feels. And and there's no limitations to recording. You know what I mean? You can just be yourself. DJ Dream, on the other hand, she's creative, but she was more so of the follow suit type of person, you know, please the crowd, make sure they're happy, you know, we need you here at this time. Okay. That's DJ Dream. Okay. No, but none of that, you know, bleeds over to Lady Named Tracie. Now Tony T.
Oh. Okay. Is that why you got the T, period?
But you know what? I have to give a shout out to my parents, you know, may they rest in peace, you know, they're no longer with me, but I think they had some type of goal. They had some type of goal with me, with the names Tony, Tracie, and Travis. You know, the Triple T is another nickname of mine that stayed with me for a very long time. And I like to think that I'm doing everything that I possibly can that would have pleased them, you know, at such a, you know, time in my life, you know. And I believe that my names, everybody has meaning, you know, but I believe that my names really have meaning, you know. So I wanted to put them all to use, so I managed to do so. The Tony T is all business. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's the one that kind of like makes everything. You see Tony T sign on something? Okay. Believe me, it was thorough.
Okay. Okay.
Before it was signed.
Okay. So I looked at you have a SoundCloud page, and I looked over your SoundCloud page, and you have a very long, very thorough. Tony T must have wrote that. It's a thorough resume. Spelled out perfectly, so anybody really want to know more details who Tony T is, make sure you go to Lady Named Tracie on her SoundCloud page because there's more information there. But let's go into influences. Like, who really influenced you to be a DJ and who influenced you to be a producer?
My influence is very simple. At a very young age, I used to venture out to different after hours when I was a young 18, 19, 20-year-old female. And I made it to a club that is no longer here after hours called Heavens. And it was basically ran by Ken Collier, the late Ken Collier. And I remember times going in the club and just the vibe and the feeling and just seeing how everybody really loved the underground, the house, the soulful, the deep house. And watching the way that he just moved the crowd with every track that he basically played. Yep. And I admired that so much, you know. And one day I decided to invest in turntables, Technique 1200s, and self-taught myself. I taught myself, rather, you know, how to mix and how to, blend and just, you know, record, you know, the CDs, you know, for sale if I, you know, was selling those. And everything was trial and error. You know, it was one day at a time. I wasn't perfect, you know, in the beginning, but over time, I became very good at what I did, and I have myself to thank for that. And I don't mean to sound like I'm blowing my own horn or anything, but I am a self-taught DJ, and a lot of people don't know that, you know, and it's been 20 years, and I'm thankful, you know, like they say, music saved my life, and it really did.
Wow.
You know.
Now, as far as production, you know, who influenced you to want to be a producer?
Well, it's sort of a cliche thing, you know. It was something I was thinking about doing, but when I finally got an avenue to actually touch in on it, you know, I was going to a store I used to go to a lot, Baddryah Music, which is now called the Detroit Music Center, ran by Cliff Thomas. And I ran into a guy named Gary Romalis. And he was working at the store, and he told me he produced underground and whatnot. So we became acquainted with each other, you know, and he invited me over to his house one day, and we you know, he showed me his little setup, and, you know, I was very interested in it because I never really knew how to, you know, to record. Okay. But he introduced me to the Ensoniq ASR-10. It's a sample recorder. It's a very old unit. A lot of people probably don't even know what it is, and some people do know what it is, but it's a hardware, it's not a software. Okay. And I can just say he helped open the door to the idea of wanting to record. So if it was an influence, he would be one of the first ones to kind of get me in that direction. Okay. Then there's always been the music that I bought over the years at Bayreuth or, you know, Record Time that used to be open in Roseville, and artists like Kashmir was one of my favorite artists. Yes. Strictly Rhythm Record, Masters at Work, you know, those really big names from back then. Todd Terry, you know, list goes on and on. Wow. You know, we got Moody Man that I was a real big fan of when I was younger. He also worked at Bayreuth at one point. There's a lot of big names really from Detroit that did work in Bayreuth as, you know, featured DJs, and that was always good to know that I, you know, was able to see those people firsthand, you know. But, you know, I always knew that it was in me, you know, and I'm just glad that I stuck with it.
You know what's funny? I'm listening to your story, and I swear we should have. You said Heavens, you said Gary Malice, you said Bayreuth. I'm telling you the truth. We have crossed paths, if nowhere else, we've crossed paths at Heavens before, because that was one of my spots too. And actually, to be honest, when I was going, because I wasn't a DJ, I was more of a dance or party person, just going to hang out. I didn't know that was Ken Collier that was up there DJing until I started doing the show or became more familiar with the music on the back end. I was like, oh my God, I'm under a legend. No wonder why the place just drew us in so much. But you brought some music, and we're gonna take a moment to listen to some of your artists on the Double Glass Entertainment, and also we'll be back with, I'm gonna say, this lady named Tracie, and let's just take a quick listen, little bits and pieces, just give you some idea of what some more of the artists sound like, and then we'll be back with the rest of Lady Named Tracie, Tony T, DJ Dream, and whatever y'all want to call it. No, just kidding. My girl Tony T. We'll be back.
You are in my house, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. are In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Take the first step towards staying in your home by going down to the Wayne County Treasurer's office on the 5th floor of the International Building in Greektown.
Stop by today to learn more about our payment plans and especially the newly extended interest rate reduction program.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in Rite Aid stores and community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
All right, we are back. We have talked to the entertainer. Now, we done flipped the lid a little bit. We're talking to the CEO, Miss Tony T of Double Glass Entertainment. Hi, Tony. No, just all right, I just had to do that just to knock some things off. So you just had a really good array of artists on the label. So let's talk about Double Glass Entertainment for a moment. First of all, name, how'd you come up with it, and what do you look for when you're signing an artist? Because I know you already said earlier that Tony T is about business. So tell me about Tony T as it relates to, the label.
Well, I felt that, the style that I carry, being the artist when I first started, being, when I went through CD Baby, I knew from the start that I was very eclectic, very unique, not your normal production. So I felt like I want to create a label, where I'm able to get my music out the way that I want it to be really heard. I don't like to, so to speak, run with the crowd. I've always been the type of person more so. If you're going west, I'm probably going to be going east. I believe in being different. I'm a fan of Prince, like you have up there on the wall. He was that type of artist, and I really loved his music. I believe in being yourself. And Double Glass Entertainment, the name I felt like should represent something that sees ideas from every side of the looking glass. And it's not limited to, the mainstream of underground, so to speak, but it's very wide open to any unique idea that an artist may feel is their music is special to them. It's open to listening and possibly releasing their music through distribution, and it's just basically one of those things where you could be free. When you come to Double Glass, there's no stipulations. There's no, we can't do that here, we can't do that there. Okay. It's an open book. From A to Z. And that's pretty much how I can sum up Double Glass Entertainment.
So I do like that because as you can see in the house, everybody knows I'm a huge Prince fan, and that just Prince was like we know that you see him over there, you see him over here, you see him over here. It's a lot of, when I did the studio, I kind of wanted that influence because I knew that he really came from that, really be creative. And what I like what you said, you allow the artist to still be them, but you deal with the paperwork. You deal with that part more so they can be free to create and don't have to deal with all that other stuff,
I'm more so with my label. I know some people probably listening, that's going to watch this, people are, you're allowed to run your show how you want to run your show. Me, on the other hand, I don't believe in, so to speak, quote, holding anybody hostage. So as far as contracts with artists, I don't do contracts. Everything is, it's a verbal agreement. Okay. but it's no written contracts with them. I allow them to be free, because when you ball and chain someone, so to speak, you're limiting their freedom to only go so far. It's like being a bird in a cage. You really can't fly free when you're trapped with bars.
Okay.
And to me, there's enough to go around for everyone. You know, you have a creative idea. Who am I to say, well, no, we have an agreement where you can only just do music for me. You can't sign on with someone else and use that name. And who am I to say that? That's limiting your creative ability. Maybe there's a track that you did that I don't really see fits on my label. Who am I to tell you that you can't give it to someone else?
Right.
That's just the way I run my business.
Okay.
You know, but I don't judge anyone to do what you want to do. I mean, that's how you do you.
Okay.
You know, but understand, when you come to Double Glass Entertainment, the door is open. You know, you can do you.
Okay.
You know, be yourself.
So now we know Gary has been something else we have in common, a strong influence on how we got started. I mean, turntables, thank you, Gary. So let's talk about the other artists. You have, we heard from DJ Ron X, B Jinx, Gary, of course, Bad Beats 87. So let's talk about those guys and like a little bit of where are they from?
Okay. Well, I feel like I got blessed. I was lucky one day. I was in one of my music groups in Facebook, and I ran across a guy named Alex Brain, and he was from Paris. And he had posted a couple of tracks in my group, and one of which I really took a liking to. And so I inboxed him and asked him about the music, and you know, he said it was something he had put together, and he really didn't think a lot about it. The track is called Wesley. I'm not sure, you know, if we'll be able to feature it today, but it was one of his first release from my label. And I asked him if he wanted to release it, and he said sure. You know, he had an artist name and everything, and he goes by Bad Beats 87. And lo and behold, his track ended up in the, I think it was the broken beats genre, and he ended up at number 58 in his genre. Wow. For that track, Wesley.
Unknown name to us.
And not even knowing that he had I knew it was a nice track.
Okay.
I know
you got that ear. Okay.
I got that ear.
Okay.
And I knew it was gonna be good, and I was right. And they apparently loved it.
Wow.
You know, Ron X. This another individual that it's like so many people that befriended me in Facebook. You know, once I began the Double Glass and it started becoming more familiar. Okay. You know, on the site, and you know, not just there, but MySpace and. You know, oh, wow.
You've been doing this
Google,
all the time. You said MySpace.
SoundCloud. You know, I'm pretty much in every social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Ron X is more so on the Afro House side, and he hails originally from Chicago, but he's back here in Detroit now, and I'm actually expecting something new from him. Probably within the new year, I'll say. Okay. And he had a track called Jazzman. His track also was a feature in Track Source in the I think it was the Deep House Essentials, I believe it was. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, you know, I gotta look it up and check it out. But his track also, by being one of his first tracks released, I was surprised that it did that good. You know, again, I picked another hot one.
Okay.
So, and then you have a new I just call him a new remixer, I like to say, for my label, B Jinx, who is from Korea, originally from the States, I believe. We speak online often, and this guy has his own label too. It's called Craniality Sounds, and he did a remix for me from one of my second year releases called With You. Mine was Midnight Hour. His version was Till Dawn. And his track it made it to the Jack and House Essentials, again in Track Source. It's made it to several chart lists from different DJs from Beatport. And I'm really grateful that I actually ran into him, and we've been able to collaborate and work together so well. And he's really added a nice flavor to Double Glass, and I'm really grateful to have him there. You know,
I love the internet. And you just meant like you just said every name that you said. They're not necessarily. You didn't like meet them at the grocery store. You met them through cyberspace. and they don't live here, but we connect so strong and make great things, and that's a beautiful thing. And I also have to like really give you some sense of acknowledgement, because you and I connected. You didn't know me from nobody either. I just want to say this right now in front of everybody that's watching. I really truly appreciate you, because you and I have been communicating. I pulled back to prepare your show. We've been trying to get this since 2014. Wow. And the very first email I got from you was in 2014. You sent me music. You was like, okay, I'm going to send you music. Sent me music. It was off the hook. And I kind of like sat on it. I posted it on my page or whatever. But we never physically got to do this up until today. But I appreciate you. You come to every one of my events. I think you missed the last one only because.
Because of this.
And only because. But you came. You support. You're like my. You remind me of DJ Scent. You remind me of y'all as like ride or die chicks, hardcore, and I love that, and I appreciate you for that, for real.
Scent is my girl. That's my girl.
Yeah. So I really, really appreciate you supporting the show. You know, we share each other's posts. We look out for each other, and we have to do that because there's only a few of us in the business, right? So. That's what I had to do, because that's important. I like to give flowers while I can. So how can people reach you? We know through Facebook, or however, if you want to give more information, you can give that now. So how can people reach you?
Well, they can either reach me through Facebook at Lady Named Tracie at Facebook, or you can look. Actually, to be honest, the quickest way to find me, if you Google Double Glass Entertainment, I guarantee you a road will lead to me.
Perfect. So now I've given you your flowers today. Now I want to thank you for coming on the show and being here. We made it happen. Took us 2.5 years. But that's okay. I still exist. That's a beautiful thing.
I'm grateful that you invited me, and I'm glad that we stuck with it.
Yeah.
And I finally got here. I'm grateful that you had me on your show.
I am happy you're here.
I'm glad that I did it.
I'm happy here. So before we let you get out of here, you have to introduce your next track. Okay? So after we listen to her track, let me do a little housekeeping here. After we do this track, we're going to listen to... I'm bringing back the segment that I did in my first year. I think I did it. You know, you do stuff and you do it constantly, and then it's like, it gets boring. You switch off. So I'm reaching back again, and I'm doing this Techno Talk segment. And we're going to feature a little bit about who's Ron Trent. So after you introduce your track called 4 Count.
4 Count.
So introduce your track.
Well, the next track you're going to hear by me, it was actually produced 2 years ago. And I'm actually going to be re-releasing it sometime at the end of this year, and it's called 4 Count. It's an energetic track, not more than 3.5 minutes of techno, but I guarantee it is going to get your body moving. Hope you enjoy it.
You are In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. stories are told and great music is played.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of the In My House Techno Music Show. I'm your host, T. Carlita. And shout out to all the ladies out there who's making it happen. We thank you so much, and thank you for being guests on this show. We are going to close this show out with a DJ mix by super hot DJ, producer, my homegirl, my buddy, my sister, my friend, DJ Scent. That's how we gonna roll out. So this is T. Carlita for the In My House Techno Music Show. Enjoy this mix by DJ Scent.
You are In My House, hosted by T. Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. told and great music is played.